Tell you about your granddad.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a hook and a crook, but I loved him. We got pissed up regular. Every time he went to work on a Monday, if there was a domino team, it was always a pass out at 8 o'clock, being gone, out of work. And then it was my birthday one August. And we got pissed. And we went into work at 3 o'clock and clocked out at 4. That's the truth. This is the truth. Everything I'm telling you. And we had some fun. But we used to go out, and rather than go home, we used to, I'll tell you, we used to go to the camp, didn't we? Have a steak dinner. None of us went home. We used to have a steak dinner and then wait for 4:30. We'd be down to the Surf Club at 4:30 drinking. And as usual, we had a little one too many, and your granddad come to work in his slippers one morning, tell you how bad he was, in his slippers. We had a good time together. We were together for a long, many years, a very good time. And we miss him, be honest with you, you miss him.
I met him when I was 16 at the Cirque, and then, I'm Judy 64, I got married in 63, so 61. So I started at the Cirque in about 61. He wasn't a good looking bloke, he was a lovely bloke, but I wasn't attracted to him straight away, so I'd seen him in the shop. We used to call it like the shop, we used to work in the tube mill. I'd seen him there for a year or so, but he didn't catch me or nothing. So I suppose I've known him since when I was about 16, but I started to go out with him sometime when I was 17. Yeah, sometime when I was 17, because I was married to him by the time I was 18. He come over here because your granddad was Martin Comerford, but his name wasn't Martin Comerford. His name was William. But when he come over here, you had to be 18, I think. Or was it 21? I can't remember. You had to be a certain age before you got the full rate of pay. So his dad's name was Martin. So when he come over here, his sister had told him, who lived in England, his sister had told him to, when he comes over, to say his name was Martin and take his dad's name and get full rates of pay. So he said his name was Martin, and he was on full money straight away. So when I met him, because I met him at work, and he was known at work as Martin, that's the name I first knew him as. And though I knew after his name was William, everybody, all his workmates knew him as Martin.
What happened with the bookies? Do tell us about that.
He went in to collect £12 and he got, and your mum paid him 200 quid out. And he ran up and he ran into the club and he said, anybody follow me? Anybody follow me? He hid in the ladies' toilet for about a half hour. And he came out, and I wasn't in it. And he bought the beer for them all. And you know something? I'm talking about years ago. He left £10 behind the bar, or maybe because I wasn't there, to get a drink when they come in.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of bloke he was.
And I found him in the ladies' toilet. He was hiding in the ladies' toilet. How he ever got to work at times, I don't know. Yeah.
Never late once. 20 years.
You were never there to be late, for God's sake. Never there. The invisible man, they called him. And then he went up one day. Oh, you weren't with us. And he had up the big hut at the back. Union meat. He says, the sick fund, there's £11,000 surplus in the sixth fund. The next day, everybody come in on crutches, broken legs, broken arms. The sixth form went in about 2 weeks. £11,000 disappeared.
And that was big money years back, wasn't it?
Oh, they were coming in, and then they were getting more money on the sixth than they were working. They were all there. Everybody had a bad back, couldn't get it off the bed. Crutches, and they were running up the road with crutches on their shoulders. Huh? You never seen that? Like £11,000 disappeared in about 3 weeks. I never told them anything. I said, get that £11,000. Yeah, the whole lot of us go out and have a session.
We used to go out drinking with the shop steward. He was a good bloke. But there was the one day there was a hurling match in Ireland, and a hurling match. It's like, I don't know. It's like a cricket bat with like a dip in it. And the idea is the ball comes to and you hold your bat up in the air and you whiz it round the other end of the pitch. It's a cross between like a football and like cricket. So all Ireland was playing, and of course the lads wanted. There was all Irish, all of them. They wanted to go and watch the old hurling match in Ireland. So there's no way they could afford the time off. You used to get, I think it was 2 weeks holiday in the summer, and a week at Christmas, and that's the only holidays you got. So they had a quiet word with Paddy like, so they went on strike on the Friday. On the Thursday afternoon, he called a strike meeting over some cock and bull stuff, whatever it was. I can't even remember what excuse we give. But fair enough, everybody come out on strike on the Thursday afternoon. On the Friday, they was on the boat over to Ireland. They watched the match, came back again, had a meeting Monday afternoon, and everybody agreed to the terms and was all back at work for the Tuesday. All back at work on the Tuesday. But there was nobody got suspended, nobody got this, that and the other, and they got strike pay. But the only reason why I got a job at the circus, up the next gullyway there used to be a place called Fillary's Toffees. But prior to the circus, I used to work on the Ladypool Road in a shoe shop, and the wages was absolutely terrible. There was about £3 something a week. Absolutely terrible. And my dad used to keep saying to me, you need to get a proper job, get a job in a factory, la-di-da-di-da. So I went to go to Fillary's, and when I went on the dinner time, it was shut. And the office was shut, so I come back down the entry, and I'm walking now going towards back home to my house, and I had to pass the circ. So I just went in there on the off chance, and they gave me a job. I mean, you get the sack from one today, and you could walk into another job tomorrow. I mean, there was that much work. Nobody was unemployed. Nobody was unemployed in the 60s.
And then I made a mistake. I fell in love, and she went and got married. To me. To me, she got married. She got married to me, that's where it's smiling. I was the same. She used to say, you never take me anywhere. I said, it's a waste of time, you kept finding your way back. She said, don't you like to see me as something long and flowing? I said, yeah, the river.
I mean, your granddad was never young. He was never young. Even like, as I says, he was about 27 when I met him. But all the lads are 27. All the telly boys was about. And they'd have like the big quiffs, and they was like proud of the looks. You know what I mean? But I don't know if it's because Martin was that age or because he was Irish or because he was not into fashion. I don't know. But him and his mates, they all went out in suits. They wouldn't think, none of them. I'd never seen Martin or none of his mates hold a wife's hand or even give him a peck on the cheek. That wasn't done. If one of them should get pissed and I was going to have a sing song, they'd get up and they'd sing "Oh Danny Boy," or I can't even think of any Irish song. "I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen." Where the other group sitting over the other table would be singing like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. They'd be jumping around the place in jeans and a t-shirt. Where Martin's lot was old. They was old. Even when they was 20s, they was old. Whether it's because I knew them when they had nothing. And they used to say to me, "Do you want a gin and tonic?" Or they'd force you the drinking onto you to prove that they're the man. They're how could I put it? It's kind of a morals. It's not even morals, but what word is it? Like, we're okay, we're a good group of blokes. Like, yeah, we'll buy you a drink. We're not skint. Although the boys would be skint in the house. But then Saturday morning, then I'd get up, and of course I can't go to the pub Saturday morning because I got to get the shopping and I got to do the dinner. And he'd come home then 3 o'clock. The pubs used to shut at 2:30. He used to come home at 3 o'clock after being with all his workmates and put the telly on Match of the Day at 3 o'clock. Used to be kick off, and he got so boring. And then bit by bit the marriages broke up, but the blokes all stayed together. They all meet up in the pub still, or the lads do, and there's only the lads, there's not a wife in sight. They must have just got fed up being stuck in the house while their husbands are out drinking.